Good morning and good day. Welcome to another session of Canvas Live. Canvas Live sessions are presented by Canvas community members and or instructor employees to help Canvas users improve and enhance their teaching and learning with Canvas. And today we have the wonderful Kona Jones with us. As you know, she is a Canvas coach in the community, and you may have seen her around, and she's here to talk to us about some very interesting ways to access some good reporting from your classroom. So without further ado, Kona, take it away.
Hello, good morning everybody. And from the talk of weather, yes, I will take anyone's warm weather. You can send it this way. Luckily we don't have snow though, so I'm not too bad. So what we're going to talk about today is obtaining access report data for an entire class. If you want to follow along and actually literally do the steps with me, I would suggest going ahead and going to the instruction and video page that I have linked up here at the top. Because once I kind of work through the next slide or two, we're going to actually go to that page and you'll be able to literally start downloading the things you need to get this data. So if you want, you can literally follow along at home doing these steps and get your own class data right here, right now. If you just want to kind of sit back, take it all in, and then come back and watch this video later, that's cool too. But I just want to give you a heads up that if you want to follow along at home and get your own class data, you'll want to make sure that you go to this URL here at the top of the page. So basically what we're going to be doing today, or what we're going to be showing you, is how you can take what you already have in Canvas, which is the Canvas Access Report data, and that's your student by student data, where you go to people, you click their name, you click Access Report data, and you get that page for each student, each individual student, of all the things they've clicked on. It's helpful, but what if you want to know how many of my students have actually looked at my syllabus? Well, that's, you got to click on, depending on how many students. If you have 30 students, well, you're clicking on 30 different students and scrolling through or doing a control find to see, has the student ever clicked on that? So what I'm going to show you is a class access report. And so on your right side of your screen, here's just kind of an example where you can see I've got a list of all of my students. And then you can kind of start narrowing it down of, here's my mini tab activity, my example document. Wow, that doesn't make me feel that great, that look how many of my students didn't actually open up that document, which were the notes that they really needed to be able to do the activity. Well, isn't it nice that I can quickly and easily see which students have done what? So that's what we're going to be looking at today. So doing this, and I've got it's the same URL at the top. I left that at the top just in case anyone was still trying to get in. So what does this script do? It literally will install a button on your people page of your course that creates a CSV file of all the access report data for all students enrolled in a course. I also will note that it does provide, if you have any concluded students, it will show the report information for those concluded students as well. I was playing around and I realized that actually just this week. What the script does not do, and this is, gosh, I wish it did, and it doesn't, but it doesn't allow you to see that every single time the student has accessed something. So you're not going to get like here for this document, they accessed it on this date, this date, this date, and this date. All you're going to get is the total number of times the student has accessed it, or participated, the first time they did, and the last time. So I wish it would show each individual time, but that data is not available kind of on that front end course information, which if it did, we would be able to do it, but it doesn't, Canvas doesn't have it right there on the front end. It does have it in the back end with Canvas data, but that's a lot harder to access and a lot harder to make it easy for faculty to just pull up and use. And so that's kind of the purpose of this, is to make it simple, quick, and easy for faculty to be able to get this information and use it to then make decisions about their teaching, their class, maybe emails and reminders they need to send their students, and that type of thing. So what we're going to be doing first is literally downloading a browser add-on. And a browser add-on is just a user script. Well, the browser download, what it's going to end up doing is running a user script, which is a JavaScript that's ran by a browser on the user's machine. So literally, you will be downloading this on your own individual machines. I promise these aren't like crazy, awful programs. They're not going to crash your computers. I've got them on pretty much every single computer I own. I promise they will not mess up your computer. So rather than it being a Canvas supplied script that runs directly in Canvas, it's actually one that kind of runs over Canvas from your individual machine. Because of that, that means that you need to download one of these programs and the script onto every computer you want to use this Canvancement or the script with. And so for me, that means I primarily use my office computer and my home laptop. And so I have the script and these add-ons on my office computer and my laptop. So I had to download it in both places. So just know that it doesn't follow you around where you go. You do have to download it onto whichever computer you're using. So what we're going to do now is actually go over to that URL that I was talking about. And this is obtaining and using Access report data for an entire class. This is a really, really great report or document because it not only includes the information that we're going to go through, but it also includes videos. So at any point, if you want to come back, James Jones, who's the one who actually created this script, made some different videos and things like that. So you can see there's different videos and information. There's like a whole huge document worth of information here. So where I'm not going to be able to cover every little bitty single detail. If you want more details, if you want to go back and watch specific videos on how to do things, it's all right here on this document. So make sure you bookmark this document. It's a great resource. But for right now, we're going to go ahead and do a quick install of either Greasemonkey or Tampermonkey. So Greasemonkey is if you're using Firefox, Tampermonkey is if you're in Chrome Safari. I've got literally both of them. So on my computer, I use Firefox and Chrome. So I have Greasemonkey on Firefox and Chrome on Safari. So it's not that you can only have one of these on your computer, it's by browser. So whatever browser you're using right now, go ahead and click on the appropriate one. For me, I'm in Chrome, so I'm gonna go ahead and click on Tampermonkey. This will look a little bit different if you're in the Firefox one, so I apologize, I don't have the exact screenshot. If you're in Chrome, you want to go ahead and download the Tampermonkey stable version. So right here. And then you just want to click Add Extension. It'll be a little bit different for Firefox, but not extremely different. And I'm sorry I can't show that to you, but I already have it already loaded on my Firefox, and I actually have it customized with some other stuff, so I didn't want to take it off just to put it back on. But Chrome, it was okay. But go ahead and click Add Extension. And you can see it's down here. It's adding to Chrome. If you do this in Firefox, what you're going to want to do is update. You're going to have to close down your browser and reopen it to get it to work. But here, it went ahead and Tampermonkey is now installed. So you can see up here in the corner is the little Tampermonkey. If you do this for Firefox, you will have, instead of the Tampermonkey, you will have the Greasemonkey, which you'll see this little monkey guy will be up in your corner like this. So it'll be a different guy, and instead of Tampermonkey, it will say Greasemonkey, but it's still the exact same thing. So I'm going to come back here. Now I'm going to go back to that main page. I see someone had a question. They said, I know the CSV on a student account allows us to see the IP address. If we were to install this as a course, is there a way for us to integrate? If you are an admin, you can actually get some Master of the Universe, really awesome higher level reports. Like James has written some higher level reports. But as an instructor, you wouldn't have access to that admin side to pull in the IP address. So if you're an instructor, the answer is no, you can't get a CSV file with that integrated in. If you're an admin, then yes, you could definitely, in fact, I'm pretty sure he's got like the Master of the Universe one. It's just a real bear to run. But if you hit me or him up later, I'll be happy to go into that more. But he's done Master of the Universe bigger level ones. It's just for faculty, they don't have access. And so we don't want to like tease them like, hey, you could do this, but no, you can't really. So we just had this one. So, okay, so let's hope we all have Tampermonkey, Greasemonkey installed. You're ready to go. The next thing you want to do is literally, and this is what I love about this, install this, you just click on it. So we're just going to click on it. If it comes up like this, you're just going to say, yep, install. And it's that easy. Like, seriously, I'm not kidding. It really, I mean, it's one of those like, did you blink? You probably missed it. It's that easy to install it on. If you want to double check and say, well, is it really there or not? You can go up to your Tampermonkey and it says no script is running. Well, that's because we didn't do anything. Let's see, where is it? Create new scripts, dashboard. Okay. You can click the dashboard and you can see the access report data is there. If you are using the other one. So if you're using your Greasemonkey, you can see in Greasemonkey as well. You can click the actual Greasemonkey little icon there and click Manage User Scripts, and then it will show you which ones are running. So you didn't have to do this, but I was just showing you, like, it really is that quick and easy to access that one. So now that you have it on there, now this is the really cool thing. So I'm going to go into one of my classes. Now I will tell you that this is one of my classes. I am in the test. The reason I'm in the test environment and not my normal environment is that in order to show you this, I had to like whitewash my students' names and give them fake names, and I can't do that in my live environment. So I had to do it in test. So the only reason I'm in test is just because of the whole privacy thing, and I didn't want to like lose my job because I'm showing my students' names and information. But this works fine whether it's in your test, your beta, or your live instance. So I'm going to go click on people, and now the really awesome thing is right here, when I click on this gear icon, I now have this access report data. Now, if you looked ahead of time, this button was not there. You just had these three right there. You now have access report data. So now if you click access report data, it's going to tell you it's fetching our access reports. And okay. And then it will do your CSV file. So the thing here, when it opens up your CSV file, it looks really horrific and scary. It looks like, what in the world is this, and how can I use it? It's actually, once I show it to you, you're gonna be like, oh my gosh, this is like the best thing since sliced bread. And I'm not kidding you. It really is so cool because I use it all the time with my classes. Like from day to day, I do this. And so once you get the hang of it, it's really easy to use this. Because right now, it's just this huge, I mean, look at all of the, you know, like, you're like, oh my gosh, what is this? It's crazy. So the first thing you want to do is go to Insert, and we're going to make this into a table. So you click Table, make sure you said my table does have headers. This is Excel 2016, so if you've got a different version, it might look a little different, but you should still be able to go to Insert, Table, make sure you said that your table does have headers, and click OK. What that's now done is make it to where you can sort things. So the beauty in this is that if you would like to sort things by, like, I don't want to see everything, I just want to see discussions, and you click OK, you can now see just discussions. If you go to title and you say, I don't want to see all of them, I just want to see discussion 1. And now I can see here are all of my students who did discussions, and here's their views, and here's their participations. And then if you enlarge this one out a little bit, there's the access. So remember, I don't have individual times. I just see how many times they viewed it, how many times they participated, the last access, and the first access. And this was for discussion 1. But then you could just come back in and say, okay, well, this week we're actually on discussion. This is my last semester class, so it's all here. Election poll's gone wrong, right? That's a good one. So how many of my students? Okay, well, they all participated at least 3 times. So if you grade just on number of participations, this is a quick and easy way for you to be able to see how many times did your students participate in the discussion. So it doesn't tell you top level versus secondary level and that type of thing. And James actually does have, so it does show if the students didn't participate. Yeah, if the students didn't participate, so if I go back to this one here, I'll take rid of this one. You can see right here, this student, whoever this student is, they might have viewed it twice, but they didn't actually participate. There are 0 participations here. And I think if I go even maybe to that second discussion, because like I said, it shows concluded students as well. So let's go to my pie chart 1. Nope, they did there. So I'm not sure where my students dropped off at, but it should show when they didn't participate on there. So this looks really cool, right? Because you can go in, if you say, okay, instead of discussions, I want assignments, you could do that instead. And so now you've got the assignment for discussion 3. You can select all again, you can pick your quizzes. So basically you can just kind of come in here and do a little bit of everything. It's just, I would say, it's really cool. You could also, okay, so let's say display name. What if you have a specific student? So you're like, you know, this student's, you know, they're going to come in and have a conference with me. I want to know what Ben Canvas is up to. So, well, first of all, I need to make sure I have select all here. There we go. Okay, so then I can see Ben Canvas, and I can sort by the access date, and I can see everything Ben has been up to, right? So that's kind of cool. But, so here's table view. Table view is probably the easiest, but something else that I think is really cool too is pivot tables. So if we're in this insert area right here, so I go up to insert and let's create a pivot table. Normally it will just go ahead and select your whole range. So you don't really have to do anything other than just select pivot table and do OK. How up to date is this data? I know when we pull reports, it sometimes pulls snaps of grades from a day ago. It should be pretty much instantaneous. I mean, it should be whatever the student last clicked on. So whatever you, when you download that access report, it's literally whatever the student did, like the very last thing they did before you clicked access report. So it should not be behind at all. It should be pretty much in sync with exactly what's going on in your class, which is exactly why I run it sometimes a couple times a week, because things change. But so for the pivot table, I think it's really cool. And so what you might want to do, and this is where you can just kind of start playing with it, is I'm going to start with my display name. Well, if you want sortable name, you can do it by sortable name. I'm going to do display name. And then what you can pick is, say, maybe your title. So if you pick title, well, right there, that doesn't look that great. But you can move it over to column. So now we've got our title and our columns. And let's see how many times students viewed. And I can move views over here. Now the thing with views is that right now it's the count of the views. And so what you want to do is click this and do value field settings. Instead of do count, do the sum. And there you go. So now you've got your table that shows for all of your different activities. So here are all of my different types of activities, all of my different things that you can kind of scroll across. Like there's all my quizzes. Also, because you've got this in table, you can pull down here and say, I don't want everything. So unselect, select all. And maybe I just want to know for my quizzes, how much are my students actually viewing them? You can also switch this to participate. So let's just do that. So here's how often students are participating. Here you can see, or here's the views. So here you can see Ben Canvas. Yeah, this guy just has not been doing a lot. So you see the blanks, that's all the places where there's no value. So the person who is asking about that, that's the no value things right through here. Let's see, for participations, so let's say I'm going to remove participations, so remove field. This time we can do participations, and I'm going to move that one right there. Oops, move that one there. All right, so once again, it might look funny because you're like, okay, they just participated once. That's not interesting. Well, I actually allow my students multiple attempts. So instead of count, I'm going to go back to that value field setting, and I'm going to change that to sum. And now we can actually see how many times have my students actually worked on these. And I find this interesting to see which quizzes are the ones my students take again and again and again. My quizzes are more like worksheets, and I give my students multiple attempts. And because it's math, the question, you know, they change. They might have the same question but different numbers, which is why I allow the multiple attempts. But I think it's really interesting. You know, you can go through and see, okay, well, which student is the one who's, you know, participating the most, doing the most attempts. You can do it by quiz. You can do it like that type of thing. Something else I just learned about just this last semester, and I had never really tried before. I'm going to remove this setting, and actually going to take the title, and I think it was under here. Nope, we're going to leave it right there. Let's see. I think it's the splicer is the one that I wanted to show you that I think is pretty cool. So let's go ahead. Select all. Let's go OK. Oh, it looks like a couple questions. So how up to date? Does this also track mobile? Page views are not recorded. Mobile is that redheaded stepchild kind of at the moment when it comes to this. Right now, this is only showing you what Canvas would show you in the access report data, and Canvas access report data does not show mobile. So this is a limitation because it won't show you mobile. But that's just because Canvas doesn't show mobile. If Canvas would update and put mobile into their access report data, then this would show it as well. But it can't show something that Canvas doesn't have. Any way to zoom your screen to enlarge? I'm finding it unreadable. Oh, I'm sorry. That's also where you can go back to some of the videos. I'm not sure if I can zoom in like on, let me see. Oh, no, that's kind of crazy. It looks like if I zoom, I'm not sure if that would help. I'm not sure which part you're not seeing, but I'm not sure if that would help or not. Going back over here. Is it the pivot table information? Okay, full screen isn't helping. I'm sorry, kind of blurry. Definitely go back to the videos that were on that main page, because the videos do literally go in and will show you exactly what I'm doing, but they will go through in like short little 3 or 4 minute chunks, like, oh, you want to do this? Here's the video for that. Here, you want to do this? Here's a video for that. And they're much more clear, and you should, you know, you could pause it and go back and all of that type of stuff. So definitely check out the videos. So what I was saying, let's get rid of title for now. And I think it was, go back to insert and the slicer. Okay, so the slicer is kind of cool. So I want to do participations. So I click OK. And, oh, I do need this one here. So I need to come back over here, and I need title. I think it's columns here. Participations? No. All right, that one didn't work. Sorry, this was one of those things where it's like, oh, wait, which way is the way that one did it? But the slicer is cool, if I can get it to work right. Let's see, maybe it was title. Let's try that one. Ah, there we go. Okay, so instead, what I needed to do, remove it from here, leave it here, I think. And what you do, so what this slicer is actually showing you is for chapter 1, or chapter 1, quiz 2, you can go through and the number of participations. So it literally is slicing it apart to say who did what. So I want 1 participation for this, and it literally will show you how many students did exactly this number of participations for these different activities. So the slicer kind of slices apart all of the data, and then will tell you the different pieces for all the different things. So, and it's in the videos that James has on his page. He does a lot more cool stuff with it. For me, it's unless I have a specific purpose, sometimes it's hard to show. But basically what the slicer is doing is saying, for chapter 1, quiz 3, these are all the students who participated 3 times. So like, let's say you're trying to figure out really quick for, instead of this one, so let's pick the title again. Let's see if we picked quizzes for this one. So quiz 1, how many students did 3 times? How many did 2 times? You could figure out, you know, how many used all 5. Ooh, well, it looks like a lot of students used all 5 attempts and might need more help. So I don't know, the splicer is just something that's a little fun. It's a little interesting just to play around with. I think that's the biggest thing though. So if you come back over here, is just kind of playing around with this different stuff, the views, the participations. They also, the splicer has a timeline. So if you want to know when students have done something within a certain amount of time, you can pick first access, last access. And then you can go back, you know, and pick, you know, like December, January. Well, this is quiz 1. So I would probably have to go back to August. But you can get time chunks too. So there's lots of different things. I think the biggest thing is just feel free to play around with it. I mean, you can't mess anything up, because if you don't like it, you just kind of X out of it and try something else. Some other stuff I find cool. So, bye-bye. Is, let's see, we've got that. We had first access, last access. Something else. Okay, something I always want to do in Canvas and I hadn't been able to do is I would like to know, and I'm going to select all here. For each one of my, let's say a page, how many students actually access my syllabus, that type of thing. Well, I'm gonna have to scroll a little bit because my syllabus is probably way down here. But this is where it's kind of neat. So here's this, okay, here's a PDF. So hypothesis testing refresher. Here you've got every student who clicked on that PDF. So if you're trying to figure out how many students clicked on a document or clicked on an external URL, so like if you have something in your modules, like a link to an external URL, a link to a video that's on your modules page, you could then use this to tell, here are all the students who actually clicked on that document. Here are the students who clicked on this document. I think that's extremely useful and something that I use quite frequently. In fact, I can't believe I just now thought to double check and show you guys that. So syllabus quiz, it looks like they didn't. Oh, because I have my syllabus linked out from a page. That's why it's not showing. So if you have something linked from a page, it won't show up here. But if it's something directly added to the front page of the modules, it will show up. So thankfully, all of my students took the syllabus quiz. But look, I only have 3 students click on my textbook PDF. I did have a lot more students click on my chapter 1 PDF for the textbook. So it's just kind of interesting if you've got something that you want to know, like maybe even going into class. So granted, this was an online class, but even in a face-to-face class, if you're going into your face-to-face class and you want to know how many students actually clicked on that handout, or how many students actually looked at the study guide or downloaded, clicked on the PowerPoint for today, you could use this to tell before you even go to school, or before you go to class. For me, what I use it a lot for in the online environment is just to kind of get a feel for, are my students even looking at my resources? And so if a student contacts me and is saying, oh, I'm having problems, I will come and double check and see, well, are they actually utilizing the resources that I've made available in the class? And maybe that's where, that's a good place to start versus, oh, okay, they are clicking on my resources. They are viewing them a lot of times. So it's not just that they're not accessing it, it's that they really aren't understanding it. So a question just to clarify, quizzes or discussions in mobile are tracked in Canvas. If they actually take them in mobile, it would show up, correct. I think it's more of the page views and the document views and things like that. I think also sometimes it throws off that total time in people because I don't think it shows up. I just know that in general, the mobile thing is kind of a gray area with what really comes up and what doesn't. In general, I just assume it's probably not showing up, even though, yeah, for quizzes and discussions, you would have to show it as a participation. So yes, that would show up. But I am not the mobile expert. We have some pretty amazing mobile experts that could probably clarify it a lot better in the community. But yes, if a student participated, it would show up here that they did participate in the quiz, or they did participate in the discussion, or they did post to an assignment. But we are right at time. Let me go back really quick here. I want Chrome. Okay, so really quick, so this is where it was, this is where we got to it. Coming back here, just really quick, here's some other Canvancement user scripts. So now that you've got Tampermonkey or your Greasemonkey script, here are some other Canvancements that are super easy to load. You can get more information about them by going to this URL, but literally all you have to do now that you have Tampermonkey or Greasemonkey installed on your browser is just go to one of these pages, which you can find on here, and just click on download script, and it will just download the script right onto here, and then you can use them. And these are 4 that I use quite a bit. The Sort Dashboard course cards allows you to sort the order of the course cards on your main Canvas dashboard. QuizWiz Speed Grader is really amazing, and I just absolutely love it to pieces because what it does is it allows me to kind of speed grade even quicker when I am trying to, someone said, oops, remove the web address and try again. It didn't like that web address. I don't know why. Sorry, I just tried to go ahead and do the web address and it said it didn't like it for some reason for the URL. But the QuizWiz, if you're using rubrics, it will actually open up the rubric, allow you to check your boxes in your rubric, and then you can actually save, move to the next student, and open up the rubric at the same time. And there's some other enhancements, but literally it's just a beautiful, wonderful thing, and I absolutely love QuizWiz. It saves me so much time, and thank you, BRI. Reorder rubric criteria. I don't know about you guys, but sometimes I'll be doing my rubric and I'll realize, oh, I really wanted, you know, this row up here, and you can't do that in Canvas. You have to basically start over from scratch. This actually allows you to reorder the rows of your rubric. And then there's also a course roster sorter, and that one is another beautiful one because in people, so like right here, because I don't have the script, see how you can't like click and you can't reorder it to see who was the last time, you know, students did this. The course roster sorter actually makes these columns all sortable. And that, once again, is a really cool, awesome thing. So there's just 4 other key advancements that you might want to check out. And I think that's it. If you have questions, oh, here's a good thing. If you have questions or you run into problems when you're trying to use this report, please go to this actual page, the obtaining and using access report data, like this actual document, and post the questions here. The reason for that is that not only will it help other people who might have the same question, because then they can see your question and the answer, but James Jones, who's the person who actually created this, he monitors this page. And so if there's a problem, I probably can't fix it, but he would be the one who could, or he would be the one who would be able to better explain the back end of why something is working or not working. So please post any questions you have here, just because James will be more likely to see it and respond, and then we can also help each other. So yes, and so we can support more events like this. Yay. But okay, I think that's it. And thank you. If you have any questions, let us know, and have a great, wonderful Friday.
Thank you so much, Kona. Thanks for all this information. As you know, please continue to follow the Canvas Live space so that you can get updates anytime a new event is created. And then we have the Canvas Live user group. So if you are interested in presenting in Canvas Live but want to collaborate or work on a presentation with another community member, that's kind of where we start kind of having those conversations. And then, of course, we have our chat rooms so we can, you know, if you want to have some live chats with some other community members, you can get that information on the Canvas Live page. I posted the survey. We'd love to hear your feedback. We want to, you know, see Kona and James do more of these sessions. So please give us your feedback, and let's get more of these exciting sort of insights and cool tips and advancements on the Canvas Live schedule. Kona, once again, thank you so much for your demo and for sort of applying some really great scripts into information that teachers and admins can use today. You make something that seems maybe overly complicated on paper and make it really easy, and so we really appreciate that. If you have any other questions, this video will be available after the session. I will post the link to it on the event page. And then, again, as Kona said, you know, please forward those questions to the actual document, which I'll link to as well on the event page. Thank you once again, Kona. I appreciate it. Thank you, everyone, for being here, and we hope to see you in another Canvas Live session.